You start a warm up, you're gonna need a foam roller and you're gonna need your body. Now, foam rolling has a lot of misconceptions, and the biggest thing that we want to do is we don't necessarily want to break up scar tissue or do any of these crazy things that sometimes can be stated, but all we want to do is we want a neurological response. So we want to decrease the tone of the muscle. And we also want to just get in the habit of increasing blood flow, and also just getting our body and our mind ready to work out. Those are really the big key takeaways that we want to do. So the way we'll start it is you'll start on one side at a time, and we'll start with the calf. And all you want to do is you want to put just enough pressure to give you a response, because we're trying to decrease the tone of the muscle. So we don't want to dig into it really hard, scringing your face. It should feel about a 6 out of 10, 5 to 6 out of 10 if you were to rate it. So 10 being really, really tough, 1 being a piece of cake. You want it to be about a 6, 5 or 6, because we're just trying to decrease some of the tightness. So we're trying to loosen some things up. You're gonna go about 10 rows, and you're gonna go to your hamstring. And right now I start with one side because you can control how much weight you put into it. So if it's a 3 out of 10, you wanna apply a little bit more pressure. You could also just put that other leg on top of the one you're working to give that response. So we got 10 rows there. We did the calf, hamstring. Then you're gonna move to the glute. The way you're gonna do this is there's 2 options. You can cross like this and kind of rotate your body this way, or you can just rotate your body and go here. So we're trying to isolate one side at a time here. And then we start another side. Okay, got 10 rows on the calf, and you kind of work around. So the goal is to find some sticking points, to find some areas that need a little bit more work. And this is something you always have. You can have the most endurance, you can be in the best shape ever. You always have a little bit of tightness, especially if you're really pushing your body. So this is important to help with recovery, to help you get ready to work out. So we're gonna get that hamstring. And over time, your body will start to adapt, right? And you'll need something that's a little bit tougher, more dense. So this is a good option to start with, but you always can have different options of foam rollers. So you'll realize in a lot of gyms or different places, they'll have bumpy ones. They'll have ones that are smaller and more rough. So as you get into this, you'll need more pressure to get a response. So we got the glute. All right, so now what we're moving to, we got calves, hamstrings, glute. We're gonna go into the quad. And you wanna put more emphasis on one side, so I like to kind of lean over and get this side. And you wanna think about your quads in halves. So you wanna roll the lower half right above your knee. So you never wanna roll right on your joint or right on your bone. You wanna really get the muscle. So now I'm rolling the upper half of that quad, trying to find some stiffness. I'm rotating my leg a little bit. I'm rotating it in a little bit. And then let me switch sides. So now I put that left leg right over my right foot. So that's gonna give me a little bit more pressure. And I'm rolling out to the outsides. I'm rolling to the inside. Yep. Get the upper half. So remember, you're thinking of those quads in half. So from the middle to the knee, and then from the middle to the hip. So rotating a little bit. And one thing you also want to think about is you want to imagine that your body is in a plank when you're doing any type of foam rolling. So you don't want to be kind of like that. You want to keep that back in good posture while you're doing this. Okay? So now, last thing we move into is we go towards the back. So what I like to start with is kind of go a little bit above the lower back, kind of from this mid back to about up here, the top of your shoulder blade. And what we'll do is we'll just support our head, and we'll try to open up our shoulders. You're breathing, you're not holding your breath. And this right here does some magic, I'm telling you. Good, so about 10 rows. And then the next thing, you're gonna keep your butt down. You're gonna support your head, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to get movement through our thoracic spine. So you don't want the butt to come up. You wanna lock everything down from here down, and you wanna get more movement from your T-spine. So this isn't something where you're going really fast. The lower you go, the more challenge it's gonna be. So I recommend you start a little higher than what you think, and you can work your way down. And then I'm supporting the head too, because I don't want my head to go here. Because it might feel like I'm opening up, but really I'm just opening up my neck. So I want to get movement through here, through this thoracic spine. Because what happens is, if I get more movement through my thoracic spine, I'm going to be able to do my exercise. You're going to be able to do your exercises with better form, more range of motion, because a lot of times we get stuck in this T-spine and it gets locked, and we don't have the capacity to open up and extend and flex. So we want to build that during your warm-up.